Game 3 was a draft difference. We knew it as soon as the game ended the way it did. Game 4, they tried the same strategy again. So much will happen. So much will be decided in this draft. Finally, we see the Hecarim banned away.
Surely Rogue bans Volibear here,
Yeah,
gives TF over and just plays against it. I mean, does Fnatic first pick TF is the question you have to ask yourself now. Is it worth it? Do they think Jinx might be a better first pick? Aphelios? No, they're going to stick with it. It looks like TF.
It's Aphelios Silas again, surely, right?
It's going to be the same rotation from Rogue. I think you're right, Betty. I wonder how Fnatic early rotate. Do they just go for the Viego again? Do they go for Lee Sin? Something a bit more playmaking. But for now, it will be similar drafts. I expect just different jungle picks.
Big showing of confidence from Humanoid on the side of Fnatic to just run this back one more time. Again, if you haven't been keeping track, 17-17 is the all-time head-to-head record between Humanoid and Larssen. Larssen getting the better of Humanoid in 2 back-to-back games in this exact match. If he picks the Sylas again, he could look to make it 3. What is going to be different this time around? The jungle picks, yes, most certainly, but will it be enough for the side of Fnatic?
Jungle pick is also on my mind. You could leave the Sylas till 3 and take away Lee Sin here if that's what they value, or take away Viego, or take away Gnar.
No, really?
Which both teams have been blind picking.
Fnatic would immediately just answer with Camille, no?
Yeah, I think they will, and the problem they have here is they're playing Gnar into a TF, which gives them counter pick top as well, because it's blind on red side, and on top of that, you can't pick mid and jungle now. You have to pick one. So if they pick mid jungle here, Fnatic, what do you pick on 3 here for Rogue? Do you pick Sylas, or do you pick a jungle and get banned out, right? So with 3 jungle bans already, I feel like Rogue, we'll see how the draft evolves, but they might have drafted themselves into a hole, but Fnatic don't even want to pick Camille. They just want to run back to Viego Jinx, so what does Rogue respond with here?
Surely it's the Sylas. I mean, I think that Malrang's more than happy to let jungle through. He has Lee, he has Xin Zhao, he has Trundle.
Yep.
Like, he's got at least 3 different jungle options there, so I think that he's totally fine in terms of his early game agency. I would be surprised if we did not see a Camille ban come out from Rogue right now, because when you have Twisted Fate Camille, like, it's such a top-side focused strat, you know what I mean? Like, that is what I would expect to come out from
And
Fnatic.
something, we talk about junglers, but Rakan has also been in the back of my mind. Trimmy's been playing 2 games of Rakan.
True.
Fantastic engages, flawless engages, I must say. Do they just take away Rakan as well? Just deny that as the last game here? Because, I mean, they've given over Sylas, they've given over Aphelios. I think Rakan played a huge part of that. Renat's taken away. Like you said, Vedius, expecting a Camille ban here. I think that you're just scared of Hylissang's Pike with TF. It's Fnatic's bread and butter. TF Pike, move around the map, get kills, get the game rolling. But we'll see what they opt into. GP ban actually over the Camille.
Oh, so they actually consider that more of a threat. Okay, I mean, the scary thing about Camille is how great she is at actually setting up early dives because of her ability to reset the tower aggro with her ultimate. You then have the Twisted Fate come top at level 6, Viego there as well. It's obviously a difficult thing to manage. The expectation is that Sylas can try and match the Twisted Fate thanks to his ultimate being able to steal TFs, but it's still a scary topside focused draft.
So you have options here, I think, when it comes to what you can opt for. You can immediately opt for the Rakan. Similarly, though, the GP was a bit of a problem previously, so it makes sense that they banned it away now.
I think it's in.
Yeah, I think they will pick jungle here for sure. That's the thing.
Please. I would love this.
Very early
we should
game
talk about
focus.
hovers. We should talk about
Very early game focus.
I would hate it.
Does not scale great.
Trundle is a much better pick. The problem I have now with Trundle blind is what if Fnatic take away Rakan and they don't have too much of any aftershock engage champ? What happens if they do Rakan and Camille and then Rogue look for some kind of last pick into it? We see an Ornn there, but I'm not sure if that'll get picked up. Of course, we are live. Camille being hovered. Camille Rakan would make the most sense to me, and then I guess Trippy's just last picking Nautilus, but I feel like you've given over a lot of tools that you could have taken away.
And minor point here, but if you lock in the Rakan and the Camille, you have 2 ultimates for Sylas, or 5 ultimates for Sylas, none of which feel super oppressive. There's no Gnar ult to steal, there's no Hecarim ult to steal, there's none of these big, incredible teamfight ultimates. It's pretty lackluster pickings, which if Larssen starts to get rolling or wants to make a comeback, is going to greatly affect Sylas' teamfight output.
Definitely is, so really affects the Trundle as well, but they're gonna go for the Thresh, so now that gives Trimby a last pick Rakan. Bit confusing there. I think
Do you think he goes for it though?
Yeah, I think Rakan is just a no-brainer, isn't it? It's working, good team fight, makes sense for your comp. I mean, the only other option is Nautilus.
I was going to say, in terms of the matchup, I would imagine that he's picking this because he also feels confident not only in its ability to offer assistance to the Jinx, but it is pretty good at mitigating Rakan.
Oh!
The play, the hook. He's not going to do it.
He's not
been
gonna do it.
hovering
It's
the
Rakan.
entire series, yeah.
Is it time?
It's either an Aulus or
Is
it's
it time?
Rakan. It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's Rakan. I mean, Rakan makes the most sense. I really think that Fnatic could have just gone for Rakan Camille there. Yes, you're laning against Aphelios Nautilus, but it just takes away a lot of what Rogue have been winning with. But anyway, regardless, these are the drafts for Game 5. Fnatic, fantastic 1-3-1. Can play for Camille. Nar's a pretty easy target for the TF, but Rogue have a Sylas to match it. So we'll see how the top side goes. Bot lane matchup, definitely something we should keep our eyes on, but I think, again, with this kind of draft, top side should be the focus.
And I think that something we criticized Rogue for in Games 1 and Games 2 was that Malrang didn't actually have a lot to work with in the early laning phase. However, when you pair that up with a Rakan, it gives you so much more engage tools and setup, and then when you pair that with the pillar, it becomes very easy to gank these lanes. So don't be surprised to see Trimby once again out on the map, working with Malrang to look for early ganks.
We'll see if Hylissang can match it. The problem is he's against a Trundle. Of course, gets hit by the pillar, the ultimate. He's going to be the main target for Rogue, who have pretty good teamfight. Fnatic can match it, of course. They have a Jinx.
Big pressure on both sides, 2-2. Winner will move to finals. Loser will be sent to the lower bracket to fight either Misfits or G2, pending the result of tomorrow's match. It has been a long series. It has been back and forth. A 2-0 start for Fnatic, turned by a 2-0 continuation from Rogue. One final game to decide it all. Who will make it to the finals? Who will be the final boss of the LEC? Moments away now from finding out.
Tension continues to mount. The fact that Rogue is on the precipice of making a reverse sweep would be massive for the players and the organization. We're about to jump into Game 5, so without further ado, let's get into our last game of the day.
For the first time in the series, it feels like standard 5-point. Nothing crazy on the level 1. And while tension begins to mount, it's important that we recognize a special day for our favorite league in the world. Because this is the 2,500th all-time LEC game. Clap, 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 clap.
And what a game, right? What a game. The Kings match, the upper bracket finals, is Game 5, is the 2,500th game in the LEC all-time. Man, it's been a long road.
And again, 2-2. And 17-17 in the Larson humanoid head-to-head. We talked about it already. This game is a lot about the jungle, but I just want to highlight that. Two players with wildly different trajectories, wildly different stories, ending up at the same exact scoreline in a Game 5. Like, sometimes I'm convinced it's scripted, and this is one of those moments.
Oh yeah, definitely is. Neither of the two teams have finished first and second in the regular season, both winning their first best of 5s. Coming into this one, I think it's a point where we can celebrate that Europe has very high competition. There's no kind of like dominance from either side. They're kind of fighting toe-to-toe here. You can see it on match point. Game 5, I think we can celebrate a lot of success from both these teams.
Yeah, and the conversation about international can happen after the finals. Right now, Europe is going toe-to-toe at the top of the table. There is, of course, still more games tomorrow, with G2 taking on Misfits to determine who will be fighting in our semi-final against the loser of this series. But one final game will determine who will be moving on to the finals, as Odoamne and Wonder already butt heads in the top lane.
Yeah, and you can see both junglers' items, no refillable. They've gone for the pink ward. They want to put an early control ward down, so we'll track those as they get placed. Malrang going red, going into the Wolves. Maybe you can go into Gromp afterwards, look for some early kind of plays. We'll see what happens, but both junglers for now pathing towards the bot side of the map.
No surprise. Fnatic always, obviously, the Kings are playing to the bottom side. Rogue a little bit more varied, but in this series have been willing to fight toe-to-toe with Fnatic. Just small trades back and forth here. Nothing too explosive yet. Fighting for the level 2, of course.
So I want to keep eyes on jungle in the early game. Razork pathing towards bot. Malrang already hovering around that side. He could, of course, path back up towards the top side if he wants to not really go for that fight around the crab. But I feel like Trundle is one of the champions that can definitely match the... why have I forgotten this? Viego. Viego is the champion's name. You can match him in the 1v1 early on if you want to try and contest it. The problem is they don't have the push in the bot lane 2v2 right now. You can see it is Hylissang and Upset with that control. And Humanoid should be able to get the early push, so Malrang may be in some danger if he tries to go for an early fight.
Yeah, we'll keep track of him for now, looking towards mid. Very similar gank to what he did earlier on, where Humanoid had vision on him and he still died to it. Now he's going to face check a PTA Trundle.
Oh, that's big. Pillar now comes out. He can flash onto safety with the Abscond. Doug Larson hitting the minion. It's not great, but it still works out anyway. First blood for Larson.
Once again, Humanoid dies to the mid gank. Pretty easy from Malrang, clearing to bot, gank mid from bot side. Humanoid's looking for a ward and he dies on the wave.
And I wonder how 5-head that play was. Trimby?
Hylissang hitting the hook. Ignite going down on the Trimby. Trimby ticking. Not a lot of follow-up there. Good damage. The zap connecting.
Razork is looking.
Dives coming in. Larson has a really good TP window right now if he wants to protect his team. Could pay them back.
Wave stacked.
See what he does.
He's waiting. He is waiting. He's going to TP back to mid. That could be the window
now
for
Razork
Razork.
will turn back. They're just going to go for the dive now. They saw Larson
walking
TP
around. They have the lantern for the setup. The play back to safety, trying to interrupt the knockup. Hylissang, is he going to be the first to fall? Comp grabbing the first kill. Now turning it back. Comp still standing. Can he take down Razork in the meantime? No, going invisible just in time. 1 for 1 in the end.
You can see how the decision evolves as Fnatic say, no, Larson has TP, just base, let's back away. They see the TP mid, they pull the trigger. Bots 1 for 1 though, so Rogue winning out for now on the map.
And I want to highlight how well... Oh, I don't have time because Malrang is on the gang path once more.
Never stop, leaping forward from Otawamne. Thing is going to hit. Pillar now coming out as well. Wonder so hard for him to get away in this one. Easy kill pickup, easy finish. Malrang going to take that one too.
Rogue might start running away with this. Malrang mid gank into top gank. Hasn't based yet whatsoever. Was on a ward, but great execution from Otawamne to flash jump forwards. Hylissang's here with the match. We'll spot him out now, but Larsen's going to play aggressive.
Larsen gets the isolated 1v1 because both supports are here. Trimby can leap forward if he wants to. Instead, he's interrupting Hylissang, hoping to catch out Humanoid with a prediction. Humanoid delays it just enough.
Whew. I want to very quickly go back to that Malrang gank that happened in mid, only because the decision behind it, we might get a replay of it. No, we're going to get a replay of this bot time, so I'll focus on this. Trimmy makes the correct decision here, only level 2, gets the knocker. Because auto landed from Hylissang, the tower does actually aggro him, and Comp was very close to getting that kill, but thanks to the invisibility coming through, he decides, yeah, I'm not going to overcommit to this and potentially lose my life. But the thing is here, Humanoid gets to push in mid, and he wants to rotate down into the river to get some vision so that his jungler can potentially get the crab, and it's that window that Malrang actually looks to leverage. So that push in mid actually ended up being used against Humanoid. Just really good awareness from Malrang to find that early game.
Yeah, great early game proactivity coming out from the Rogue jungler. Bot side vision established, and we saw throughout the entire series it was lots of contests around mid. Jungle support moving towards that lane to try and get the push, and for now Rogue are winning out on that, and that gives them the bot side river vision. Razork will see a pink on the top side as Rogue have put vision on both sides for now.
Of course, the gold is still very... Can we actually look at the gold very quickly, observers? Because you'll notice a big CS discrepancy in the top, but the gold is dead even. The jungle, dead even. The only real advantage right now exists in mid and AD, but that's because of the kills. So you can see about a 200, 300 gold lead in each respective area, which means that slight item advantage, but nothing too dramatic. So even though these early kills have gone in favor of Rogue, so far, Fnatic definitely still in it.
Yeah, Malrang unrelenting right now in this early game. Going to start up the Dragon. You can see Razork running through mid to try to get here in time. I wonder how far away Humanoid is from level 6 to collapse himself. Bot lane's both on the way. The problem is Cloud Drake at 6 minutes in the game does so much damage. It's pretty hard to tank up, so maybe Fnatic want to fence themselves as Dragon. Humanoid has the mid push, but no, it looks like for now both teams going to back away.
Comp sitting on 1 or 2 ammo for the Gravitum, just for the active if he needs it. Ready to set up a play if the rest of the team wants to respond. With no opportunity, he'll now instead focus on clearing out the wave. So far this game, Rogue dictating the pace. Fnatic, of course, approaching level 6 in so many roles. Wonder already getting it, Humanoid already getting it, so maybe we can start to see some of that play, making some of that side lane pressure, but it's hard. Larsen already with an advantage in the mid lane makes it so easy for him to continue to pressure. And I feel like we've said this before this series, that's just Swifties for Humanoid right now, so he's not the biggest threat quite yet.
Yeah, helps against the Trundle Pillar a little bit. Negates a lot of the slows that they might have, and now Larsen has taken away the ultimate. He's looking top, but there's a ward on the entrance of the Raptors, which will spot him out. You can see him on the minimap moving towards the topside river. Was looking at Wunder there for a second, who of course has no flash. Otawamne was very close to Meganar as well, so they had a window there, but looks like they're going to back off. Wunder, of course, playing a little bit more safe, wants to make sure he's fine. Trimby.
Flashback to safety.
The flash from Hilly. They don't have the Graviton to lock him down, but it will delay his back. Good ward there from Rogue's bot lane to actually spot him out, punish him for it, and then they should grab themselves some early plates.
Yeah, one topic of discussion you can have at this point of a best of 5 is fatigue. I mean, these teams have been here for hours and hours and hours. They need to be on point. They need to be on the ball in this game 5 to win out in this series. Any minor mistakes or hiccups or accidents could lead to a game-losing play.
And you think about momentum as well. It's Rogue that have won the last 2 games, but they got a lot of champions that they found success with so far in this series. Silas again for Larsen, another Aphelios game for Comp, another Rakan game for Trimby. They know these champions, they're familiar with them because they've been winning with them, and that momentum is carrying forward. Malrang has been on a tear in terms of his early ganks, and so far, Razork has only found that 1 dive bot, but outside of that, Fnatic have kind of been missing in the early game.
Rogue on the rise, some would say, but we want to know what you would say. We've asked it twice now. We'll ask it one more time. Will Rogue complete the reverse sweep? Vote now on discord.lec.gg. Malrang, yes, taking off the hacker rim, but has not stopped him from having an impact as Larsen just continues to bully out in this mid lane. Humanoid not too far down, but it's going to be difficult. The ulti comes in from Larsen. Looks like it was probably expiring.
Yeah, expiring, gets him some vision, get a base off, and Malrang coming from the top side there, Trimmy coming from the bot side mid. Just reminds me of 2019 G2, where they always pincer mid to get caps ahead. Larsen just getting the push here, making sure there's no vision around mid, and now Humanoid pops the ult of his own. Not sure what he's looking for here. Maybe he thought that they were on Herald, and if they were, then they'll look for a cross-map place, because Razork's on the bot side, Hylissang's on the bot side, Comp's catching a wave alone, so Humanoid thinks to himself, if I ult now, and I see Trundle and Rakan, or Trundle and Silas on this Herald, I'm gonna go for a play bot, and now the doubters are disappearing.
It seems that Rogue's fans are in out in force as they believe in the reverse sweep as a possibility. I think what's important to note is when Larssen used the Twisted Fate ultimate, they spotted Razork on red, which would give that indication, oh wow, this is a good time for us to go there, especially with the push that Odoamne had in top lane. But then Fnatic countered that by saying, well, if you're on that, we can then set up for a cross-map play on bot. They will secure themselves the first Drake, but Malrang getting this Herald could potentially unlock a member of Rogue somewhere on the map.
Being a bit aggressive there. Malrang could pop the Herald and look for a dive here. He has no E and Humanoid has no ult to cover him. Has flash up though, but he wants to stay on the tower. Larssen is on the way, Humanoid isn't. This is just going to be a 3v1. There's no one who can help Wunder.
Should be no way out of this for Wunder. Early ult to kick things off. He's incredibly tanky with the power of the Subjugate. Is just going to walk him down.
Quick, simple, and easy does it. Humanoid will push in mid. What can Fnatic get on this cross map? Rogue are making all these plays, but Razork's only found one bot dive. During that play, he based, so yes, Fnatic have bot push, but it won't accrue to anything because their jungler's now running to cover their top side, who, I mean, they're going to lose their tower anyway, so there's nothing really for him to do here. Rogue sitting at a 2,000 gold lead now, forcing in bot.
Flash forward, the hook comp. Has the cleanse.
Wow, he face tanked that, didn't he? He knew he had the cleanse. He didn't bother to flash. And he was like, no, I'm fine. I can get out of this one. The good news for Fnatic is that Humanoid will be able to secure 2 plates in mids. But if we could very quickly have a look at the gold observers, I want to see the difference between the 2 mid laners. It is still very close. Of course, Humanoid's passive does help him a little bit with the CS advantage he's built. But now Odoamne looking for a bit of a play. Humanoid just going to stun him and disengage from that. But the first item, Everfrost, already done for Larssen. So that gold investment, getting him to that early spike. You can see advantages being built top, jungle, and that gold lead is slowly getting bigger and bigger for Rogue. That
hurts. They have a lot of lockdown, you know. They have the Aphidos Gravitum, the Sylas with Everfrost, Rakan. Look at Malrang's item, just 3 Ruby Crystals. I am tank, and I will run at you and soak all your damage. Trimby getting a lot of vision onto Razork. Now they have full bot side vision and top lane's unlocked.
Odoamne going forward, easy combo. I don't think they have any response to this one. Razork going in, desperate to finish a kill, but Odoamne is still standing. Ignite is ticking, but it will not be enough. Rocket from downtown, but it's going to go between the goalposts.
It feels like Rogue have a checklist. Top's pushed in all the way. Wunder's catching the wave. Has no unleashed teleport. Okay, I'll use this time to go towards mid. 3-man mid. Humanoid steps up too far. Disrespecting. Odoamne gets the kill. He's out. Trimby's there to cover. Comp pushes bot meanwhile. So, yeah, very stock standard stuff coming in from Rogue. Fnatic still no response whatsoever. This is the 3rd time we see Humanoid TF 0-2-0. Hasn't found any ultimate plays just yet.
Rogue have a formula. They always have. This is what they've been known for. Cold, calculated, and pristine in their execution. And often people have said they're predictable, they're limited in what they can do, and all you got to do is break that formula in order to beat Rogue. Well, this formula is coming out on top in this early game once more, and Fnatic have no answers.
Yeah, and I think previous iterations of Rogue, maybe after losing those 2 first games, the formula could break, but mental fortitude coming in, great discipline from them. We talked about it. I think a couple pros were saying, Odoamne was even saying, I think we're the best scrim team because we're just so disciplined. Other players were saying it against them, saying the best team to scrim is Rogue because they don't turn into Clown Fiesta games. They want to follow that formula, just hammer home the fundamentals. That's exactly what they've done. We'll see what Fnatic can do in response. For now, it's only a 2,000 gold lead. Fnatic contesting the bot side river. They have a Drake under their belt. Cloud Drake picked up already. Hextech Drake 2 minutes away. Can play for a soul.
See what the option is going to be, what we're going to roll for the Rift this time around. Hextech Drake was pretty helpful in Rogue's previous win, although admittedly their lead was so big that it might not have mattered. Fnatic holding on in bot lane. It's just a small discrepancy, just the kill separating them both. Carries at a Gale Force, so no massive advantage there. And while Malrang has been off to an early game tear, as always in these last 3 games, it's not snowballed too far ahead quite yet. I like the decision. Giving Odoamne the red buff. Going to make lane a little bit difficult for Mr. Wunder.
As a jungle main myself, okay, 1 camp sure, 2 camps, okay, you're being a bit generous, buddy.
Wait, but it was the Baus that taught me that those camps are top lane camps anyway.
Yeah, they are. Grunts are top lane camps.
Yeah, Malrang, those camps never belonged to him in the first place. Of course, you can see a level discrepancy being built as Razork does have a pretty big CS advantage, but Malrang doesn't care. He knows what his job is in this team. He knows what role he needs to provide in this game, and he is doing it to a T. 2-0-1 is his scoreline so far. And really, what I'm looking for Fnatic is where this Twisted Fate ultimate is going to go. We haven't seen that top lane stack dive for trying to get the Camille ahead. We haven't really seen him attempt to roam towards bot. Humanoid was ganked a lot. He was shut down in the early game, but he has not been unlocked on the map. And where will he be able to find his first successful play?
And that comes off all the back of Malrang, I believe, of course. I mean, he gives up camps, he gives up CS. He's always down in farm. Hang on a second. We might have a team fight. Ultimate coming in from Humanoid.
Stepping in. Knock-up going to be there. Trimby going to make it out safety. The hook. The flash not going to connect. Wunder now leaping in. in, though, looking to finish the job onto Trimby, get some good damage laid down. That's the reset if they want it. Razork stepping forward. Will he turn into Recon? Comp, perfect guns for a fight. They can't afford to overstay their welcome.
Okay, so Fnatic do find a window. They get Trimby, but Dragon's not up for 20 seconds. They need to base and catch top as well. Hook didn't connect, so they couldn't follow up onto Malrang. Odoamne's TP just came up, and it isn't unleashed for the next 10 seconds, but it will be once he's channeled this base, so Rogue might TP in here and look for a fight.
Upset getting pulled back, but perfect timing on the Gravitum swap might just be enough. The stolen Jigsaw goes a little wide. Not gonna work. The hook does go in. Malrang ignited, getting pulled back.
TPs.
That rocket will connect. Razork on the way. Can't fish for the reset. Comp trying to shred guns as quickly as possible. Wants to get a little bit more damage down. Razork going to be in trouble as the root manages to come through. Odoamne again on the way. Wonder off to the side. Absolute chaos here on the bottom side as Rogue push in and break that first tier 1.
So the hilarious thing to me is even though Trimby died, because he's only level 6, his death timer is hilariously low. So by the time that play had even finished, he was already back out onto the map and making his way towards the Drake. When the TP comes in from Odoamne, Fnatic tries to collapse, but now Comp is in danger.
Cleanse again coming out. Trimby on the way.
Wait,
Root's
who
gonna
is
be
actually
there.
in danger?
He goes over. Razork playing with confidence here. He is going to be able to finish that one, and he's got the Gravitum as well, but it's just not going to matter. Alt reset will not come out. He will go down.
Yeah, in all the meantime, Rogue got themselves a Drake. Quick thing to note, 4 TPs were used for this fight. As we look at this one again, Hylissang just so close to landing that hook.
I think the execution here was pretty solid from Fnatic. I was wondering where this ultimate was going to go from TF. He lands it onto the Trundle, and that hook does just go wide. The stun from Wonder into the follow-up onto Trimby does get them that kill, and then Wonder has to burn his flash to get out of dodge.
Yeah, and then the chase comes in from Rogue with Larson coming in with the TP. They think they can turn it. No, with the TP, sorry. He's just behind them, but Comp has all the stacks. Upset walks up. He goes around the side.
Why are they staying here for?
Yeah, maybe they just want to try to get plates, farm the plates before they fall in the next 10 seconds. But yeah, too dangerous. Larson just comes from the side. Upset has to flash away. Does live in the end a little bit longer, but still. TPs come in. Fnatic think they can turn. Wunder comes in with the TP in river. Odoamne TP's on the way to make sure his team's safe. Malrang just about lives. Very, very low HP. And like you said, Dracos Trimby rejoins the action.
There it is. Again, Comp, the weapon swap timing, excellent. My little Aphelios nerd heart is just so warm at this exact moment. Fnatic, though, again, struggling here in the early game. Really have not been able to mount many comebacks so far in this series against Rogue. See if they can find one this time around. Again, it is do or die. A lot of pressure on this lineup. Comp only going to get stronger. Trimby still ready for the setup and the plays, and Malrang still an absolute monster to deal with.
And as a reminder, the winner will move on to our finals. The loser will end up in the lower bracket where they will end up facing Misfits versus G2, who will be playing tomorrow. So there's the real risk, which for the record has happened to Rogue. Rogue were in the upper bracket, they lost to Mad, and then they met Fnatic, who made that lower bracket run, and then they kicked them out.
Or Razork.
And it was last year that Fnatic 3-0'd Rogue on their conquest through the lower bracket to make it back to the final. And it would be sweet, sweet revenge for Rogue if they could shut down Fnatic here, especially in a reverse sweep.
They're on the path to do so now as they descend upon the mid lane. Trimby fearlessly stepping forward. Is this going to be it? The gold lead just continues to grow. Rogue taking everything in the mid lane, continuing to push forward. No major objectives on the map, but Rogue will take everything they can from Fnatic. Jungle camps, CS, anything Fnatic would want to get their hands on, Rogue will try to take it away.
I thought for a second there Malrang was going to pop the Herald, maybe move bottom, pop it himself as well. Looks like they're just going to back off. Looking for opportunities. Razork was chunked out. Odoamne will catch top wave and doesn't have TP, so this is a window where Rogue will just choose to back away. This is a very different early game that we've seen. This is an early game where Rogue is ahead, but they're not running away with the game. Most of the time we're seeing Rogue just dominate the early game and stomp throughout the game, or Fnatic with an early game and Rogue trying to claw their way back in to the mid to late game. So a very different kind of playstyle, gameplay happening here in the final game. Fnatic holding on for now. Do have options, of course. Humanoid still up in levels on Larson, and they might find a pick onto Malrang here. No flash just yet.
Steals away, just a camp now, focusing to lock down Malrang. Malrang ulti comes out, he's so tanky, but it's not enough. That's the shutdown. Now the stolen Trundle. He can pillar away at the enemies. But Fnatic not getting greedy, just settling for a single kill and looking to break bot tier 1.
These are the type of picks that Fnatic need to be finding, though. Leveraging that Twisted Fate ultimate to very quickly rotate from mid to bot, mid to top. Being able to create that numbers advantage is why Larson, even though he was there, poised, ready to fight, decided not to commit. The moment that that ultimate came through from Humanoid, he was forced to disengage. Fnatic find a pick, and they get themselves another town.
Will they get this? Wunder's poising to defend. Razork's on the way. I think if they got this, it would be a winning trade for them, but it's going to live on 1 HP. But again, standing gold for Rogue. And one thing I want to mention quickly about Fnatic's comp is they lack a lot of AP damage when you think about it. You know, the TF is probably the only AP damage they have if you don't count like the Camille W or a Thresh. And he's building towards a utility build. So what we tend to see here is plated steel caps coming through despite the stuns. And maybe if Malrang builds towards an Anathemas, he can put it on the TF and then just build straight armor. So we'll keep our eyes on that as the game progresses. But still, very, very even game. You have a game state where Fnatic want to make plays over side with Camille ult and TF ult, and Rogue just trying to chase them around the map to stop them from being able to single out one target.
And I think where we see Rogue being scary is when these neutrals are up. They're more than happy to take these front-to-back team fights. They're more than happy to say, hey, come on, Fnatic, come into us. We'll find our flanks, we'll find our engages, and this is where Trimby then becomes the player to watch. He is the primary engage. Odo and Malrang, great at following up, great at creating these scenarios for the engages to happen, but it will be Trimby that has to pull the trigger for Rogue to come out on top in the fights.
And yeah, Fnatic, they've got Humanoid, they've got the Twisted Fate. If they can get a man advantage, they can win in exchange, but in a full-on 5v5, that pillar goes down behind Fnatic's carries, and they're in trouble. That's going to be the route onto 2 members. Larson coming over the wall, pitching for the follow-up, leaps to the minion, tries to get a little bit more done. Humanoid looking for the disengage. Rogue looking for an opportunity. Odo
has flash and ultimate, will expire now, the Mega Gnar. So Herald mid, they don't even care about the dragon. They're going to go for this mid tier 2. Fnatic are so out of position here. They could push for a tier 3. Trimby looking for the engage.
Looking for the engage. Quickness has been procced. He's going to find at least one. Upset now locked down. They're looking to burn him down before the fight even starts. But Upset goes over the wall and he'll survive for now. Razork getting the reset, stealing away the Trundle. Can take away some of the AD. But Larson still standing strong. The Stolen Camilo getting him out for now. But no, Razork finding the resets. Will it be enough? Because Comp is here. Trimby is here. The knockup is there. He will be denied for now. Mega Gnar on the way. But can he find a target? Fnatic holding their own in this fight. Upset, no flash, and Odo knows it. Will start to look to walk away.
Ultimate as well.
One more reset's going to come through. Knocked back into the wall. Hylissang is there just in time, but now they're all out of damage. Comp still standing strong. Finishes him off with the snare. Spams the Teemo emo. You love to see it.
It was really difficult for Rogue in that position, but it's Captain Odo that just leads them straight through the fight, shows them the light, manages to win out on 1v2, and then gets the ultimate so that Comp has the confidence to step up. Are they going to look for a Baron here?
They're looking for the Baron.
Has TP, so does Humanoid. In comes Malrang. He has Smite, but will they let him collapse? What is Wunder going to do? Is he going to TP in, or is this just gone? That might just be a Baron.
Such confidence from Rogue. They controlled the mid wave. They found the fight. And rather than go back for the objectives, they were relentless.
So it all starts off with this mid-engage. Hylissang flashing forwards with the Flay as Comp's trying to engage on him, so he instantly dies. Gale Force to the side. In come the TPs, and then the chase happens onto Humanoid where Odo's chasing him down. And this is where I think Rogue had all the cards. They could just push mid, but this is where maybe fatigue comes into play, because Trimby, look how easy this is. Just flash W Upset. The knockup misses. Upset lives, and they almost turn the entire game around based off that, because Fnatic start to get resets. Upset can hit. If that knockup had hit from the get-go, Rogue would just annihilate Fnatic, but they had a chance.
The traps come through, the stuns come through. Good flash there from Wunder, helps Razork get that first reset. But then when Comp arrives and Upset is so low, he's doing what he can in the fight, but you realize that it just is not enough. It was so close, but then Odo Amne, he spots out Upset, he sees the AD carry, and he's able to find the kill.
Yeah, hunts him down, jumps over the wall. Trimby had no mana, but it's Odo Amne that gives Comp the confidence to step up. They're going to get the Dragon, which was what everyone was fighting for over for initially, and now Rogue with this Baron, pushing in mid, pushing in bots. Fnatic backs against the wall.
And what a redemption story for Rogue. It was they who has never beaten Fnatic in playoffs. It was they who was reverse swept by the Mad Lions, and while they still have a finals to win, this could be their ticket straight towards a rematch.
Looking so commanding, so incredibly dominant, a 6K gold advantage. Remember how this season started, skepticism, Comp and Malrang, what will they do? Surely the super teams will reign supreme. One of them has already fallen, and another may fall today. Fnatic, glad to have a second chance. And for now, it looks like they are going to need it. Rogue, 22 minutes in, breaking the base. One inhibitor will fall, a second will fall. Game 1, Game 2, Rogue looked a little lost. Game 3, confident. Game 4, dominance. Game 5, absolute victory over Fnatic.
They're trying to end.
Hylissang, fishing. He's just going to get one shot. There's nothing here for them. Fnatic running out of time, running out of space. They've run out of options. The reverse sweep coming through. Trimby ulting right when it matters. Comp still standing. Comp standing tall. The best bot lane in a West. Let me put a question mark besides that one as Comp tears through the hopes of Fnatic as Rogue moves on to the finals, as Rogue will be the final boss in the LEC.
23-minute game in Game 5, reverse sweep coming in, incredible mental fortitude. I thought after the Baron the game would be a slugfest the next 10 minutes until the next Baron, but they just ended the game off of one fight in the topside jungle.
And I've just got to say it. Giga Chad Malrang, from games 3 to 5, it was just gank after gank after gank after gank. This man was unleashed, and he was doing so much work for Rogue in the early game. Yes, the rest of the team stepped up. Comp was consistent. Larson showed his performance on Silas, but man, what an incredible early game in those last 3 games for Malrang.
And the odds couldn't be more stacked against him. It's always unlucky and unfair towards Odoamne and Larson, getting reverse swept, never having that chance, being down 0-2, 0-8 against Fnatic in playoffs. Of course, it's that moment that they're finding a reverse sweep. They're booking their ticket to the finals, and that means that if G2 beat Misfits, we have a rematch between Fnatic and G2 to get to the finals.
I love... Ooh, I don't have a voice. I love our playoffs format. It's absolute banger. Rogue, well-deserved victory. Coming back from that level of fortitude is just not something that we have seen from Rogue before.
And it's the first step, you guys mentioned it, it's the first step in terms of rebuilding that reputation among the fans, because the expectation is that this is a team that will choke, they will underperform, they will never succeed when it comes to these playoffs, even though they've shown appearances in the finals. Whenever it matters is when they fall short, but when it mattered, this organization, these players showed up.
And again, first in the regular season 3 times in a row, and despite that, they lose in every public poll we will ever give them. And yes, part of that is that they're against Fnatic, but they are constantly fighting to be recognized on the same level as EU greats. You always go, oh, Caps will find a way, oh, Perks will find a way, oh, Humanoid will find a way. Now, when will we start to say the same about Larson, about Odoamne, about Trimby, certainly about Malrang after a series like that?
And like you said, Venit, this is the first step in a long journey. Not only were Rogue robbed of their Spring Split title, but they were robbed of MSI, and they're so hungry to get back.
Yeah, and again, it's the story that we've been telling over and over and over again. This was not the roster that was expected to do it.
No.
You lost an MVP inspired, and you lost one of the best AD carries in the league in Hansamah. And remember that at Worlds, it was Hansamah that was basically dragging Rogue across any type of game that they even could, and they didn't even get out of groups. So the fact that these 2 replacements were able to perform like this, you know that this organization is hungry to prove themselves again in the final. They will be the final boss in the LEC, and Fnatic will move into the lower bracket.
I think for me, after this series, it's hard, not impossible to say that Rogue are chokers again with this kind of roster. Yeah. Like, if anything, they had all the pressure on them from the get-go, and they had no chance whatsoever after that game 2, it felt like. So, stay at their chokers, or they don't have it in playoffs. I think that narrative's almost dead and gone at this point.
And now we see even clearer, and Rogue see even clearer, the path to success for them. Against Fnatic, they found Engage, and we've seen how multifaceted they can be. Here they found the answer. And it only gets easier because next weekend they get to watch their opponents ahead of time. They can dissect their opponents. They get the luxury of waiting to see what both teams can bring to the table.
Dobra. Tam gdzieś nie una. Ej, a propos. Mamă, dar ce dați mă fac să le după ea. Auziși? Eu place să mă întâlnesc cu ea.
Ce e, frate? Hai că să tu azi afară. Nu te mă lasă.
Ești pupăul continuu, jur.
Nu, ce mă tu?
Da?
Pupă, pupă, bă.
Nu știu. Wow, ce-o face? Și tu, mă? Și tu faci piticanie? Piticanie mică? Nu, ca să faci cum mergi și asta, are să auzi?
Și bana asta.
Auzi, rămâse? Cum mergi asta mică? A, mă, ca să faci mersul.
E șmecherie.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Doamne, că te plătă mă că repede, parcă mi-e frică să strâng în brațe. Auzi? Auzi, repede. Mi-e frică să strâng în brațe, jur.
I smell fear.
Asta aș spune.
Minions have spawned. The enemies of Demacia will fall. They should run now. The rage. Suffer my fury. The might of Demacia will prevail. By the blood of my father, I will end them. They see their end. They are nothing before me. The rage. On wings of fury. Suffer my fury. The dragon nears. By the blood of my father, I will end them. The might of Demacia will prevail. They see their end. They are nothing for me. First blood. Haste. Power flows through me. They have faced nothing like me. The rage. By the blood of my father, I will end them. I will dance in their ashes. Without remorse. The might of Demacia will prevail. They see their end. The quiet before battle. Tremble before the dragon. I smell fear. I go.
I will tear the world asunder.
The enemies of Demacia will fall. They are nothing before me. On wings of fury. Suffer my fury. The rage.
Turret plating will soon fall.
They should run now. The might of Demacia will prevail. By the blood of my father, I will end them. They see their end.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Without remorse.
Yeah!
quiet before
No agony!
Tremble before the power of a dragon.
suffer my fury. They have faced nothing like me. They are nothing before me. I smell fear. The rage. The enemies of Demacia will fall.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
By the blood of my father, I will end them. Suffer my fury.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
The dragon nears.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I go. Without remorse.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
The quiet before battle.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
They should run now.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
The enemies of democracy will fall.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Victory!
Auzi? Întrebă Diana. Ești acasă? Da. Am plecat de la 7. Decent. Fac eu. Aproape. Adică de la 7 știe bine.
Just so Igor. Nu faci un pic.
Da?
Ok.
Am băut la muncă 4 ceaiuri. Vocea asta nu dă pace, că așa era nimica. Așa era, da? Dar ce puteți asta noastră? Ce putea? Urcă, măi. Dacă mergi la muncă, pe mine a fost în club.
Dar numai cum am fost.
Am fost până la ora 7-8 la muncă, după acasă în pat. Stăm în clubul noaptea și eu noaptea ceva mă vise. La club. Mă dă drăguște. Ăsta mi-a ți-a spus. Am văzut un șarpe. Am văzut un șarpe și am înțipat. Asta mare, nu te mănânc cumva, mereu nu știu. Ce dorme? Da, nu deranja. Că mă cură! Că mă cură! Ah, ce?
A? Aha. Co mi fac?
Avem un șef.
Ce?
Suntem hai. Nu ai putut ceapa motiv. Hai el. Da, scupă ăla.
O știe.
O știe.